Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my recipe for these awesome chicken patties. Now, if you guys want to see how to make these Guyanese chicken patties, make sure you keep on watching this video. These are the perfect appetizer, the perfect hors d'oeuvre for any type of party, any function, any dinner. You guys are really going to love it, especially for this holiday season. I've gotten so many requests for this recipe and I'm finally getting around to posting it for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Keep on watching to see how I put them together. The ingredients that I'm going to need for my chicken patties start off with the crust, and I have my all-purpose pastry crust right here. I have the recipe already on my channel, so I'll have it linked right up here. I'll also have the link in the description box down below so you could check out how to make this. You want to make this about 20 to 30 minutes prior to making this whole dish, so this way it could sit chilling in your fridge and then you could be ready to go to make your chicken patties. So I have that. I also have 2 chicken breasts that I've gone ahead and I've just boiled in some water until they were cooked. And I'm going to show you guys how to prepare this in a few seconds. As for all of my seasonings and my vegetables, I have some chopped bell peppers, some chopped onions, I have some chopped garlic, some chopped hot pepper, as well as some chopped pimiento peppers and some bay leaves. I also have some salt to taste. And as for my spices, I have some garlic powder, some paprika, some rosemary, some Old Bay seasoning, some dry basil, as well as some black pepper. I also have some tomato paste, I have some chopped scallions, and I have some Worcestershire sauce, as well as some oil to help me fry up all of my ingredients. The first step when making these chicken patties is to, of course, boil the 2 chicken breasts that you have. I've done that already, they've cooled just a little bit, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put them in my food processor and I'm going to pulse them until it is coarse and ground up. Alright, so I have all of my chicken breasts that I've gone ahead and pulsed in my food processor, and as you guys can see, it's pretty fine, but it's still coarse. You don't want any big chunks and you don't want it to be too pasty at all. So this is perfect for me, and at this point we're going to start putting together the filling that's going to go inside of our chicken patties. Now, in the bottom of a heavy bottom pot, I have some oil that was heating up, and then I went ahead and I added in my bay leaves, my pimiento peppers, my garlic, and I'm going in with my hot pepper now. And all you want to do is stir these aromatics up and stir them for about 30 seconds just until they become fragrant. After about 30 seconds, the garlic and the peppers as well as the bay leaves, they're going to become very aromatic, and you're going to see that they start to get just a little golden brown at the bottom. I also wanted to mention that the hot peppers, you can go ahead and put in as much or as little as you'd like. And you can play around with the different types of hot peppers. At this point, I'm also going to go in with my bell peppers and my onions. And I want to go ahead and stir those up. Now what I want to do now is go in with about half of my scallions. I'm going to save the other half for towards the end, so this way it can add a nice little brightness to the dish. And what I'm going to do is just stir this mixture around. And I'm going to allow this to cook for about 4 to 5 minutes, or just until everything cooks down a bit and everything starts to get a little bit golden brown around the edges. And I'm keeping my heat on a medium heat because I don't want any of this to burn. It's been about 4 minutes now, and my onions and the bell peppers and the scallions have started to wilt and melt down just a little bit. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my tomato paste, and you want to give that a stir. Now, I'm not adding in all of my ingredients at the same time, because what you want to do is add them in at different times, so this way you can start to layer the flavors. If you were to just dump everything in the pot at one time and allow it to fry up, it would just taste very one note and very bland. By adding everything in stages, you're allowing it to start building up flavor and allowing different ingredients to start caramelizing before the other ingredients. Once you get that tomato paste incorporated, you're going to go in with all of your dry spices. So the Old Bay, the dried basil, the black pepper, the granulated garlic, the paprika, as well as your dried rosemary. Now if you wanted to, you could play around with all of these spices. You can add an all-purpose seasoning. My auntie Chitra, when she makes these chicken patties, she uses her own all-purpose seasoning that she makes from scratch. And you can really just make it your own taste. So I'm going to stir these around. And the reason why you add the spices in now on top of the onions is so this way those dry spices can start to bloom and all of their flavors can start to be released. You want to make sure to keep scraping the bottom of the pot so this way nothing sticks. And you want to allow this to fry up for about 1 to 2 minutes, or just until everything has a chance to cook together for a little bit. Everything has been sauteing together for about the last 2 minutes, and as you guys can see, the bottom has gotten nice and golden brown. Everything has melted away just a little bit and cooked down very nicely, and it smells great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with all of my ground chicken that we went ahead and put in our food processor. I'm going to add in the rest of the scallions because we don't want them to be raw, but we want them to be cooked just a little bit. I'm going in with a pinch of salt or salt to taste. And I'm also going to go in with all of my Worcestershire sauce. And I love using Worcestershire sauce in any dish where I'm using meat because I find that it adds such a great flavor. So what you want to do is go ahead and stir everything around. And you want to keep pressing it down with the back of your spoon so this way all of those spices and the vegetables that we had in there get evenly coated on the chicken. And you want to keep the heat on a medium to a medium-low heat because since the chicken is already cooked, you don't want to cook it down so much till the chicken becomes really dry. Once you've gotten everything incorporated, you want to go in with just about a tablespoon or two of water, a very small amount, so this way you can go ahead and pick up any spices that may have ended up on the bottom of the pot, and this way the chicken is not super dry and crumbly. So at this point the filling for the chicken patties is done. I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste for salt and any other seasoning that I see that I might want to add, and then you're going to transfer it into a bowl and you're going to allow it to cool completely before we start to fill our chicken patties. Once the filling for the chicken patties has gone ahead and cooled down, it's time to begin working on the dough and putting the patties together. So what you're going to want to do is take a piece of your dough, and any of the dough that you're not using, you want to leave it in your fridge so this way the butter and the shortening doesn't melt within it. And what you're going to want to do is flour it really well so this way it doesn't stick. Then you're going to take your rolling pin and you're just going to go ahead and roll it out. Now I want it to get to about 1/4 of an inch thickness. I do not like the dough or the pastry for any of my patties or baked goods to be very thick. I like there to be a nice even ratio of the dough to that delicious filling. Once you get your dough to about 1/4 of an inch thickness, we're going to start cutting out the shapes that we're going to use to make our patties. So what I have is I just have a glass right here, and if you wanted to, you could use a cookie cutter for this, but I find that the size of the actual rim of the glass is perfect to make the circles. So what you want to do is just go ahead and make some circles here, and you're going to get as many circles as you can from this rolled out piece of dough. Now you want to try to get an even amount because you're going to need pairs of them, and I'll show you exactly what I mean in a second. So once you get some of your circles cut out and you've cut them out with the top of the glass, what you're going to want to do is take your filling that's cooled already, and the easiest way that I find is to take an ice cream scoop so this way you can get a nice even amount of filling. And you want to get about 1 tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons inside of this chicken patty. And once you get it in there, what you're going to do is take another piece of this dough and you're going to lay it down on top. Now what you want to do is stretch it just a little bit so this way it matches up with the other end. And this will ensure that none of that chicken or any of the juices that flow out of it will spill out in the oven and start to burn. Once you do this, you're going to go ahead and take a fork and you're just going to crimp the edges with the fork and press down on the edges. This is also going to ensure that the pastry sticks together and that none of the chicken will end up spilling out. Now, as far as a different way for filling up these chicken patties, this style that I'm going to show you is more like an empanada. So what I have here is like a little empanada maker. It actually is a cookie cutter at the bottom, so when you put it like this, it's a circle. And then when you cut out the piece of dough, you actually lie it on top of here and you'll fill it with chicken and then you'll press it down, and these little crimped edges will actually hold it together. So I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So I rolled out another piece of dough to about 1/4 of an inch thickness, not too thick and not too thin. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut my circles out. And as I said before, you can save this extra dough and make more chicken patties with. And once you get one of these circles here, what you're going to want to do is just place it on top of the empanada maker. And you want to stretch it out just a little bit. You don't want to allow it to fall inside. And then what you're going to do is take about 1 tablespoon or 2 of the filling, as I had said before. And you want to just spread it out a little bit. And once you do so, you can go ahead and close up this little empanada maker and you can press it down. So this is one of the chicken patties that I just took out of my little empanada maker, and as you guys can see, it comes in a nice little pocket just like this. And honestly guys, whichever way you guys decide to go ahead and make these chicken patties, the shape does not matter because the taste is going to be amazing. So I'm going to put this down onto my baking tray lined with parchment paper as well. And that's my oven there coming up to temperature. It's at 350 degrees. And before I go ahead and start to bake these, I want to show you yet another method to fill these chicken patties. What you can do is take another tablespoon of this filling. You're going to spread it out into the circular piece of dough, and then you're going to fold it over on itself. When you do so, you want to press down the edges so this way none of that chicken will end up falling out. And then what you can do is take your fork again and you're just going to press it down. Alright, so I have some of my chicken patties formed, and once you get a batch done like this, you want to go ahead and stick it in your oven so this way it can bake while you work on some more chicken patties. So this way when this comes out of the oven, you can refill the tray and start baking again. It just makes the process go a lot quicker. So as you guys can see, you see the ones that I made into circles, you see the one that I use using my empanada maker, and you see the other one that I use just by crimping it with the fork with this circle. So what I have here is my same fork that I went ahead and crimped the edges with, and what I like to do is make two little pokes in the top, so this way the air can circulate and it doesn't burst in the oven. And you just want to do it with all of them, no matter what shape you make, so this way the air can circulate in all of them. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take an egg, and I've beat it together with about a tablespoon of water just to loosen it a bit, and you're going to go on with the brush and just brush it onto each and every one of your chicken patties. And I'm going to continue doing this with each of the chicken patties, and once I'm done brushing each of them with the egg, I'm going to stick them in the oven. Remember, it's preheated at 350 degrees, and I'm going to leave them there for about 15 minutes or just until the tops of these bad boys get nice and golden brown. Alright guys, all of my chicken patties are done. I pulled them all out of the oven and they've cooled just a bit, so they're ready to eat. So I'm just going to break into one of them to show you guys what it looks like on the inside. As you guys can see, all of that beautiful filling, all of the flavorful filling is sitting inside, and the crust is so nice and flaky. I went ahead and I gave one of them a try already, and it was awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe today. Go ahead and give it a try for the holiday season. It's a perfect appetizer for any type of party, family function, or any dinner. You guys are really going to love it. Go ahead and give this video a nice big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed yet, and leave your comments down below on what you're doing for this holiday season. Tell me if you try this recipe out and what you thought, and just tell me what you guys would like to see next. I'll see you guys again in another one of my awesome recipes. Until next time, guys.